Let's talk about the most interesting subject in college football. Now, you probably saw the title of the video and you're like, this isn't the most interesting subject. Well, it gets the most clicks, guys. Colorado Buffaloes had the most polarizing season in college football history. And the funny thing was, they were 4-8. Yes, 4-8. They were a bad team. They were not bowl eligible. They did improve from the 1-11 season in 2022. Coach Prime coming over. They had the media by storm. They were the most hyped team ever. And just imagine, guys, if this team was actually good and they were a real contender, your phone would break. Every single post by ESPN would be about them. You would not be able to live a normal life. And that's what we're going to talk about today. How good will Colorado be in the 2024 season? Because everyone wants to know. Stick around to the end of the video to see my wild schedule prediction for the Buffaloes. And also, we got a face cam today. Let me know what you guys think about the face cam in the comments. I might include it in future uploads. Before we get started, if you're new, make sure to subscribe so you never miss out on another great upload like this. I'm posting bangers like this all off season. Subscribe and join the best family in college football. Also, I'm putting my Instagram on screen. Make sure to DM me, follow me if you want to talk a little more, get to know me. I love DMing subscribers. It's so much fun. I talk to all of you guys. It's a great time. I respond to everything. First of all, I'm going to preface this video with a very big thing. It's the elephant in the room, but it's also not. Conference realignment. The Colorado Buffaloes in 2024 will obviously be playing in the Big 12, and that's a big step down for the Pac-12 in my opinion. The Pac-12 was one of the strongest conferences in college football last year. I know there's a lot of hate towards them in the South, the SEC especially. All my SEC subscribers are like, Pac-12 sucks, Pac-12 did. Well, you saw what Washington did to a Big 12 Texas. You saw how the season played out, guys. The Pac-12 was a great conference, and Colorado, they only had one conference win against Arizona State. I know, but the Big 12 will be a lot easier. There's a lot of youth coming up in the 2024 for the Big 12. You don't have Texas, you don't have Oklahoma, and that is going to make it an easier time for the Colorado Buffaloes. So what does Colorado have coming back, guys? Obviously, they have their passing leader, Shedeur Sanders, who threw for over 3,000 yards last year. He was amazing. His ball placement, his mobility in the pocket. The only thing we know, the offensive line was terrible. So, of course, Shedeur Sanders wasn't able to take that next step to compete for the Heisman, but he is Heisman caliber talent. Of course he is, guys. He's going to be a top 5 quarterback in the 2024 draft. So having that come back, that is one huge thing. Also, their rushing yards, their rushing game was a non-factor. It was a complete non-factor, but they have Dylan Edwards coming back. He's going to be in his second year. He's going to make development. And of course, it's all on the offensive line. For wide receiver, they're losing Xavier Weaver, who was their leading wide receiver. But guys, they have Travis Hunter, who plays both sides of the ball. Everyone knows Travis Hunter, wide receiver, cornerback. He was the #1 recruit in the country. Come on now. Let's talk about what Colorado has coming in, and we're going to talk about from the high school level first, because we know their transfer portal is going to be great. It's Coach Prime. They did it last year with overhauling their entire roster. So what are they doing this year? But we're going to start with high school, all right? Their recruiting class was tiny, and I had made fun of it before in many videos. They only had 10 recruits. That is absolutely abysmal, guys, but they're going with the quality over quantity special. Jordan Seaton, offensive lineman, 5 stars, the #1 O-lineman in the country. He is coming into Colorado. That is a huge get. Now, he might not make a massive impact in the first year, because that's how it is in college football, especially on the line. You're going to need time to develop, but that is a step in the right direction for Coach Prime. Also, on the other side of the trench, Brandon Davis Swain, 4-star defensive lineman. They also need to get better on the defensive line, so that's a great position to fill that hole. On the offensive side, they got 4-star wide receiver Draylon Miller from Texas, and also Cameron McKell, an athlete. He could play both sides of the ball. The transfer portal is where Colorado really made their big splash. They got Quincy Wiggins from LSU, 4-star D lineman. They also got Tyler Johnson, 4-star inside offensive lineman. He's from Houston, and also Justin Myers, another offensive lineman from UTEP. These are just a few of the names, guys. I could go through the entire list, but they got 25 guys from the transfer portal, so they got them in bulk. I don't even have the time to run through that. You guys can go do that on your own. But we know last year it didn't work. 1 year of Coach Prime, 1 year of that transfer portal, it just wasn't enough time to have all those guys mesh together. But in year 2, they're not going the high school route. They are going the portal route, but they already have guys who are going to be there, going to be set in stone. Plus, they're tackling their weaknesses, guys. Colorado is very weak in the trenches, and that's exactly where they're improving. That is one step in the right direction, as I've said. As far as what they lost in the portal, They had lost 3 of their offensive linemen. I mean, big deal. And a lot of those guys from the portal actually went to Oregon State, which is funny. Anthony Hankerson, running back, is coming to the Beavs. I'm in Corvallis right now. So Colorado has an improved roster, and that's what we expected. That's how coaching goes in college football. But first of all, how will they be able to play on the field? How are they able to mesh? And second of all, what does their schedule look like? All right, that's a really big deal. Do they have tough road games? Do they have their tough games at home? Do they miss out on a couple teams? Let's get right into their schedule, and I'm going to give you guys a full prediction. Just a reminder, guys, they have not yet released dates for their conference games. We only know who they're playing and where they're playing. We don't know how it's going to play out, but I'm going to give you guys my best projection. They did give the dates for the non-conference games, so we'll start with that. Saturday, August 31st, the North Dakota State Bison come into Folsom Field to face the Buffs, and that's a tricky one, guys, because we know how good NDSU is at the FCS level. This is not your typical cupcake team. They have a great program. I still think Colorado's going to get this done. Just too much talent, too much depth for NDSU, but this could be a tricky game, but I bet Colorado will win by about 2 touchdowns. Next up is at Nebraska. We remember the Nebraska game from 2023 where Colorado blew them out. It wasn't their prettiest game. They got the job done and they ran away with it at the end. However, this one's going to be on the road. Nebraska has one of the best home field advantages in college football. That stadium's rocking. Nebraska's really turning it around with Matt Rule. They have Dylan Raiola coming in as a 5-star quarterback. I don't know if he's going to start or not. They might go for a veteran guy, but it's going to be very tough. Nebraska lost a lot of games by close margins last year. Very close. They could have been much better than what they were on paper. I think Nebraska wins a close one in this game. Colorado's 1-1. In week 3 on September 14th, it's the in-state rivalry time. Colorado at Colorado State in Fort Collins. I don't really have much to say about this game. Colorado State's not that great of a team. I think Colorado gets it done. They bounce back. Again, another tough road game, but I think this is good. 2 tough road games in a row. It's really going to build them for games in the Big 12 conference schedule. At Arizona Wildcats. Now, if you asked me who would have won this game a few weeks ago, I would have said Arizona easily. Jed Fish. I mean, they got Noah Fafita, Teteroa McMillan. They have dogs. Although those 2 guys are staying without Jed Fish, I don't know how Arizona kind of holds this glue together. And there's still much more transfer portal that we have yet to see. Players leaving. I just don't know about that. Too much uncertainty with Arizona. Again, this game is in the desert, but Colorado has really made that step. They win this game. Colorado's 3-1. Home against the Utah Utes. This is kind of a pseudo rivalry because in the Pac-12, they made these 2 teams play at the end of the season because, I mean, they both joined the same year in 2011. They're both mountain schools, so it's kind of a rivalry, but they don't really care, guys. The Utah Utes, they are actually my favorite to win the Big 12, or they are one of my 2 favorites. I could go into that in a full video and talk about that, but that's going to be in the future. Utah's a great team. They were super injured in 2023. That's why they didn't compete for the Pac-12, but with Cam Rising coming back, some more health on the defense, this team is loaded. Kyle Whittingham is one of the best coaches in college football, completely slept on. What he's built at Utah is unbelievable. I think Utah wins this game. Colorado is now 3-2. Home against the Baylor Bears. The Baylor Bears that went 3-9 in 2023, just completely out of the blue because a lot of people had high hopes for this team. I think Colorado easily wins this game. Baylor, not much going on there. Sorry, Bears fans, if you're watching this. The Oklahoma State Cowboys come to Folsom and face Colorado. This one I'm completely torn on. Oklahoma State is going to be a great team. Guess who they have? Ollie Gordon, one of my top Heisman guys. In fact, I do have Ollie Gordon winning the Heisman next year. And you know Colorado's weakness in the trenches. They are improving the defensive line as we talked about, but I just think that's going to be too much. This will be a tight game. This game will be super fun. You have Shedeur Sanders throwing the ball through the air. He's going to put up 300, 400 yards. And then you have Ollie Gordon, who's going to be doing the opposite. Oklahoma State's going to give them the heavy dose of the pills, aka the run. They're going to smash throat against Colorado. This is going to be a great game. But I think Oklahoma State pulls it out on the road. Colorado is now 4-3. Then Colorado plays home against Kansas State. Kansas State is an amazing team. They're an amazing program. They're consistently one of the top teams in the Big 12, but no one really talks about them ever. However, in this case, Colorado is going to win one big game at home. I talked about how they would lose to Oklahoma State. With the numbers and with the odds, they are going to get a huge signature marquee win, and I think this one is against Kansas State. They're losing Will Howard, of course. He transferred to Ohio State. Very much uncertainty at the quarterback position. Again, Kansas State's going to have a great year. They're going to compete for the Big 12 title, but I think Colorado gets it done. Colorado's 5-3. Next up is home against the Cincinnati Bearcats for Colorado, and this one, guys, This is probably going to be the easiest game on their schedule. I mean, Cincinnati had a tough adjustment to the Big 12. They went 3-9. You know what's funny? They were all great a couple years ago when they were in the American, right? Because, I mean, you're playing American opponents week in and week out. That team was great. Luke Fickell, Desmond Ridder, all that. But seriously, they're the team that got knocked down the most by playing in the Big 12. And I don't see them improving that much in 2024. Maybe a few more wins, maybe 4 or a 5-win season. Definitely not bowl eligible, but I think this is the game where Colorado's going to show out at home. They're going to win big. This might be Shedeur Sanders' sort of Heisman moment, if you want to say. He's going to put up a lot of numbers, or even Travis Hunter. I mean, guys, watch out for Travis Hunter and that Heisman. He was ranked top 10 in the way too early Heisman rankings, but Cincinnati, you're getting smoked in this one. Colorado wins. Colorado will be 6-3, guys. They're bowl eligible. Yes, that's amazing. Coach Prime's going to be in a bowl. Imagine the TV ratings for that. But they still have more games to play at the Kansas Jayhawks. Oh, no. Oh, no. This Kansas team is returning everyone. They're returning Jalen Daniels, who pretty much sat all the 2023 season. One of the most electric quarterbacks in college football that no one talks about. Oh, this one's tough. No chance Colorado wins this game. I'm sorry. Kansas is my 1B. All right, I talked about Utah being Big 12 champs. It's 1A and 1B. Kansas is right there with them. This one's going to be a tough one for Colorado. No possible way they win this. You can bet on it now. Colorado is 6-4 at Texas Tech. Oh, this one's a tough one to pick, guys, because Texas Tech, they had high expectations going into 2023. They kind of fell off, but we don't know where we're at with Texas Tech. It feels like every other year they're good. They'll come out of nowhere and they'll have a solid season. They have a lot of upsets. We've seen them upset Texas a lot back in the old Big 12. I'm completely torn on this, but I think it's time for Shedeur Magic in this game. Colorado's at 6-4 coming into this one. You know Shedeur comes up clutch in those final drives. This just seems like a game that would play close. And you know what Shedeur says. It's Brady time. Colorado wins this one. They are 7-4. Finally, guys, the last game of the season, which might actually not be, because again, we don't know the dates for these games. We don't know the times. It's at UCF, the UCF Knights, and I really like what they're doing. UCF just got KJ Jefferson. They're really building with Gus Malzahn, and I think they held themselves well in the first year of the Big 12. This UCF program is a program to look out for, and if you're looking for a dark horse contender in the Big 12, definitely think about them. But again, I think Colorado, this is their second year of the transfer portal. A lot of those guys are getting accustomed to it. I think this is another big road win. Winning on the road is very tough in college football, but these guys are built for it. This one will be a close game. This one, get your popcorn out for this one. I'm calling this is going to be a great game. I'm definitely circling this one on my calendar. Who knows what's going to get this game? Maybe it's going to be a Fox game. Maybe a Fox Big Noon game. That'll be a lot of fun. But Colorado gets this one done. They are 8-4. So yes, you want to know how good Colorado is going to be in 2024? I said it right here. They are 8-4. Not amazing, guys. Not a national championship contender, but a lot better from 4 wins. Bowl eligible. They're really getting some momentum. This is huge for the Colorado Buffaloes program. And what do you guys think? Thank you guys for reaching the end of the video. If you're new, make sure to subscribe so you never miss out on another great upload. I'm doing this all off season. I'm going to be doing a lot more prediction videos and way too early videos. I think it's really fun. Let me know in the comments which team you want to see next. I've been Saturday Shenanigans, your home for unfiltered college football content. Join the best family in college football and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon.